How's it going, everybody? This is Cameron White with White Light Astrology, giving you guys your new moon horoscope for Sagittarius. How is it going, my Sag risings? New moon's happening on October 8th, Monday, at about 10 p.m. exactly. So let's get into it. So for you Sag risings, this new moon is happening in your 11th house. Good news, time to make some more friends, time to have more connection with people. It's time to have a new, fresh energy with who you're associating to, connecting to more people, having more networks and stuff like that. And this isn't so much a time to really go for all of that stuff. This is just a big time to really set new intentions, have a fresher energy with this. Now, we can't look at this new moon in Libra without looking at Venus. And Venus is now retrograde in your guys' 12th house, and my 12th house as well. Venus is all about value, all about intimacy, romance, pleasure, connection, creation, things of that nature. And as she's going through your 12th house and going retrograde, where your 12th house has to do with your subconscious, unacknowledged and repressed parts of yourself. It also has a lot to do with, in a traditional rulership, like foreign enemies and things like that. The 12th house can be quite a sticky place. It can be a very weird place. And as Venus goes through your 12th house and you start to really uncover a lot more of the specific value that you really look for, not only in intimacy and relationships and value, as Venus retrogrades, this is a really big time to be clear about what you do value. And when we're talking about this new moon in Libra in your 11th house of friends and networks and social settings and stuff like that, this is a really big time to, if you're going to connect yourself to new people and have these new networks and have these new connections, you have to find the value that you're really searching for. And as Venus retrogrades in Scorpio, you guys are going to uncover a lot of good and a lot of bad. Venus in your 12th house, she doesn't like to be in the 12th house. She doesn't like to be in Scorpio. She's in a very foreign, a very weird place for herself. But she's retrograding, so she's really looking at things in the most specific manner. It's kind of like, if you're out in the wilderness that you've never been before in survival mode, you're going to analyze and look at every little thing to see, what you can use to survive. Not to say this is a survival mode setting. However, as Venus retrogrades and, is bringing a lot more to your subconscious mind, having you acknowledge and become aware a lot more of where you do want to place your value, what things really, I don't want to say matter, but with Venus being all about, not necessarily just love and intimacy and relationships and value, but it's kind of our soul's expression of what we want, what makes us happy, what, gets us excited about stuff. And as she retrogrades in Scorpio, where she's really looking at how specific she can be about what she wants, she's going through your guys' 12th house where it's unlocking certain parts of your subconscious. It's bringing up stuff that you guys might have not acknowledged or may have been unaware of, and you may have repressed a little bit. So as this new moon in Libra happens, where it really is about where you're kind of putting yourself, who you're involving yourself with, who you're connecting yourself with. As Venus retrogrades, this is going to be a big time to really look at, okay, if you're going to involve yourself with new people, and all that kind of good stuff, make sure that you're finding the right people to go for. Don't be surprised if you find some people that not necessarily don't work out in your favor, or maybe they're not the best of friends or something like that. But as Venus does go retrograde with this new moon, this is a big time to kind of realize that you guys have an opportunity to connect yourself to people in a way that you haven't done before. But it requires you to unlock the part of yourself where you realize what you're really wanting to go for. You realize what is kind of holding you back. The other thing I'd like to mention is, as this new moon happens in Libra, it's trining Mars, and Mars is now in your 3rd house. Mars has been in your 3rd house for a while with the South Node, with the eclipses. The Mars is kind of severing and tearing up. It heats things up in your 3rd house. This is about how you kind of use your own tools. I've been saying this in my other couple videos if you've watched them. However, the 3rd house has a lot to do with how you're kind of utilizing your tool bag, how you're kind of going about using not only your personality and self, but the things that you possess. And as Mars is now out of shadow on this day, on the new moon, this is going to be the time to really go, okay, if I want to connect myself to these people and I want to have more friends, I want to connect myself to, whatever it is, you've got to go about things in a way that you've never done before. Something that's going to work, something that's going to actually create results, and it's going to require creative effort, and that's just going to be a lot of that creative effort is going to come out of this Venus retrograde. Mars is squaring Venus, where it's about, you got to really unlock a lot of that subconscious stuff, that a lot of that value stuff, a lot of that self-worth and self-love stuff. You're going to be, and you know, it's just going to be coming up a lot. So for this new moon, take a break, you know, really look at where you need to be placing your value and what you can be repressing and what you cannot be acknowledging, and go about things in a way that you've never done before. So that's what I got for you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, commenting, liking, subscribing, sharing, whatever it is. And I'll be seeing you guys on the full moon.